Welcome back. If you go to the website for the Minnesota Board of Animal Health right now, this is what you would see about avian flu in Minnesota. Since 2022, there have been 185 cases in flocks, affecting more than 9 million birds. And the avian flu pushed retail egg prices to a record high in February at almost $6 a dozen. But what these numbers don't show is the emotional toll this is taking on farmers. For that, Heidi Wigdahl recently visited a farm outside Kensington, Minnesota, near Alexandria, to talk to a sixth-generation farmer who lost her entire flock to the flu.
Life on the farm goes beyond the familiar when the foundation is more than 150 years old.
Fifth to raise turkeys, but sixth generation to farm.
Erica Swatsky says it started with her great-great-great-grandfather.
Ole Sarsland, the first settler in Solem Township, June 2nd, 1866.
Each generation since
This is 4 generations on our farm.
has left their stamp on the soil at Oakdale Farm.
Ready for the sauna.
Erica transitioned from turkey breeding to raising market turkeys for meat.
It's a constant reminder to my kids, shuffle like a penguin.
There are more than 17,000 poults in the brood barn. These just 5 days old.
They're pretty light. I'm a mom, but you have to be really detail oriented, and I kind of meticulous in caring for baby turkeys.
Details helped Erica spot when some of her older turkeys became sick in 2023, the day before Thanksgiving.
Black Friday, as it's known, we knew that we had positive flock for high path avian influenza. There's no way that you can mentally prepare yourself to lose an entire flock.
Turkeys tested positive in only one barn, but all 15,000 between 2 barns had to be culled.
If a kid is sick at daycare, my child will certainly get sick because they all commingle together, they share germs. And so same with our turkeys. I think there's nothing worse than watching, healthy animals die.
The silver lining, that fall, they had taken a break from raising poults.
This barn held the turkeys that were not positive.
Testing positive puts into motion a long process.
The first few days are really busy and chaotic.
Imagine 13 semi-loads of mulch used with everything from inside the barns to compost. Temps are monitored every day for 2 weeks. Barns get washed and disinfected.
For me, our total downtime from when we were infected until when I got turkeys again was 10 weeks. So 10 weeks not having turkeys to raise it's a long time when you're used to taking care of livestock.
While the USDA provides indemnity dollars to cover the loss, Erica missed out on income from not being able to raise that next flock. And she's not alone. The first case of bird flu in Minnesota came up in 2015.
It wasn't here for 7 years. And I think as an industry, we were always prepared for it to come back. So it did in 2022, and it hasn't ever really left. I'm Erica Swatsky.
Erica also serves as president on the Minnesota Board of Animal Health.
We're seeing it in other livestock, other species of animals. So it's, I think, a bigger challenge than it was even 2 years ago in 2022.
And Erica says it's infecting farms later into the seasons than before.
I think it's the new norm. It just doesn't seem like it's going to go away, unfortunately.
As avian flu spreads, the impact felt by farmers does too, in different ways.
When we first were positive, we were also coming up on the end of chemotherapy treatment for my husband. So we certainly celebrated and we enjoyed every moment of it, but always in the back of your mind, you're still kind of grieving the loss of that flock and thinking about the road ahead.
It was an eye-opening experience that for a while left Erica on edge.
There's always a risk of bringing it into your barn, no matter what, and you don't totally know where that risk is going to come from.
But it also put into focus the farm's foundation.
I'm the 6th generation here on our farm, and I have 2 little girls. So for me, I'm going to fight like hell to keep our farm here in business so that my girls have the opportunity to also have this if they want.
Following in their families' footsteps.
We can have hard times, but as long as we work together, we can get through anything.
Near Kensington, Heidi Wigdahl, KARE 11 News.
Just this week, the United Nations warned the rapid spread of avian flu has reached an unprecedented scale. Officials are calling on the private sector to fight back by developing vaccines, diagnostics, and high-quality animal health services. Well, it's been more than a month since a water main break flooded a busy intersection in South Minneapolis. Today, crews were finally able to reopen 50th and Penn. But a nearby restaurant is still feeling the effects. Tonight, Gordon Severson spoke to owners of Terzo about their progress on the long road to recovery.
The water may be gone, but the work continues here at 50th and Penn with some support structures that have been brought in here, these beams behind me, to make sure the building is still secure. There's also a large hole here around the foundation right next to the street corner. Meanwhile, many of the business owners here, including the owners of Terzo here, are still figuring out what they're going to do next.
5 weeks ago, the basement at Terzo was underwater. Looking at pictures, you would need a scuba suit to get down the stairs. But today,
as you come down these steps,
owner Charlie Broder remembers the restaurant he and his brothers built by hand.
this used to be a restroom. This was a restroom and a restroom behind you here.
Around the corner was their office, an employee locker room, and now a gaping hole in the wall where the water came through.
Just a tidal wave of water had pushed it down.
Upstairs, it's hard to imagine this used to be a thriving restaurant.
Reservations for Valentine's Day, the day after the event, we had 194 people that we had to say we couldn't serve Valentine's meal to.
Broder says their insurance policy will cover most of the damages, but with bare walls and floors, the family is still deciding whether they can reopen the restaurant.
Seeing it that day, watching what you've built with your bare hands, disappear in a flash is really painful.
The road ahead is very long.
Lene Palmisano represents this neighborhood for the Minneapolis City Council. She says the water main break has been hard on the entire neighborhood, with several home and business owners dealing with 50th Street being closed the last few weeks.
We hope to reopen the streets, two-way traffic, hopefully by tomorrow. It looks like that's going to happen.
Even though he can't reopen his restaurant yet, Broder is encouraging the community to support these other businesses because right now they need the support.
We put out the call to action. Come down, check us out. I know that every business on the corner would appreciate it.
In Minneapolis, Gordon Severson, KARE 11 News.
Stick with us. More news and weather's coming up after the break.